Okay, looks like we are live on Zoom now. Are we live on YouTube? Yes, we are. Good morning, everyone. My name is Sheila Corona. Today is Wednesday, January the 8th, 2025. And I want to explain my absence yesterday. I hadn't actually shared this much outside of privately. So but I am gonna do it here today. And I am recording this, so this will appear over on Sassy Seer Sheila as well. And if you are subscribed to Sassy Seer Sheila and not over here at New Light Streaming Love, please do come over and subscribe at New Light Streaming Love, because eventually this will be the only platform that you will see me at, you'll catch me at, or at least I think so. I don't really know yet. We'll see. At any rate, what I wanted to share with you is that my housemate, Lisa Flamino Rush, is currently undergoing some very interesting things, and is in the hospital. And our other teammate from New Light Streaming Love, Crystal J, you guys have all seen her, you know who she is, Journey Into It, was in a horrific car accident yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Yes, yesterday. So my team members are really moving through some interesting things, and there's a lot that has to do with all of that, I feel, and I know that we will be having conversations about these things. I just wanted you all to know, and I have a request. Send your beautiful, wonderful energy for um, the highest and best good for all concerned. Okay, that would be lovely if you would join me in doing that. I personally don't feel afraid for either one of them. I kind of feel like um, there's so much involved in what's going on here. There's some very interesting experiences that have already happened, that are affecting other beings. If you can imagine a very spiritually connected being in the hospital who is not afraid to share what she knows to be true, and how that might affect those in that situation, right? Those around her. So, very interesting that we had Taom the poet come out for today. This is going to be a relatively short one, because that's why you see my hair all wet and straight out of the shower, because I'm planning on going up to visit Lisa at the hospital shortly. Ooh, yeah, what a jumper that was. Ooh, Sky Lightning Star. That's very interesting to have come out. And a Rumi card for today. I hope all of you are doing well. We are hearing things here in North Carolina about some epic and major ice and snow headed our way. Personally, I'm feeling, yeah, we're going to get some, but it's not going to be, oh my goodness. All right, we have a numerologically an 11, we have numerologically a 6, and we have another 6 for our. Now, 6 is all about love, harmony, balance, right? And interestingly enough, for me, it is a personal year, my personal year. This is a 6 year for me. So that's very interesting that these come out. So, Taom the poet, they want to be read in their order in which they asked to come out. To Ohm the Poet is card number 29, which, like I said, is numerologically an 11. Let's see what To Ohm has to share. Clear sight, which really is okay, so not yesterday, but day before yesterday when I went up to see Lisa, her entire aura, her demeanor, everything looked different to me. I didn't know what that meant at the time. I do now. And the fact that the very first key word here is clear sight, that's very interesting for me. Poetry, erotic energy, laughter, not getting into serious mischief. For quite a while, as I looked at Taom's portrait, I really didn't have a very clear idea of his character. He looked so serious, so pensive, so thoughtful, but that wasn't the energy I felt coming from him at all. He had me baffled and fooled. Then my son, also a member of the Oracle discussion group, looked at him and noted, "But he's wearing a mask. He's laughing at us. He likes to speed ahead of us, then stand inside a tree and watch us go by, thinking up mischief for us to fall into. Then he flows ahead like a river, but much faster up over the hills and lies in wait for us. That felt right, but Taom looked at me with such wounded dignity that I almost got confused again. Then he started laughing and dashed off. I wondered some more about him, and one of the other fairies said, "He's a fine traveling companion if you have a taste for adventure, bawdy songs, high flights of poetic fancy, and very down to earth observations. A very fine fella." Taom's boundless curiosity leads him into some strange places, and he is quite happy to take us there with him. Taom's wings, like ours, are neatly folded at his back and not readily visible. He is still learning to use them properly and thinks he is better with them than he really is. He wants to encourage us to unfold our wings and doesn't hesitate to lead us into situations where we almost have to fly, metaphorically sometimes, in order to survive. When Okay, yeah, that's very interesting. And I think that is actually partially what's going on with both of my team members. Isn't that interesting? Because there are different ways to look at things, right? You can look at this in both cases as something horrific that these beings are having to go through, or we can see that they are being shown some things and also in the midst of those things, how it affects the beings around them and how those beings that this is happening to are handling their situations, which is confusing to those, especially in the hospital where Lisa is concerned. When I was young, I think it was he who encouraged me to climb up lots of trees and high buildings I couldn't easily get down from. And I know it was he who encouraged my son to do similar things. He is fond of children. Like him, they are usually willing to try anything. Chaom has a poetic spirit which involves much more than just the writing of rhymes. It is about being able to see things as they really are, and in that reality, to recognize all beauty. Well, isn't that a true statement based specifically about what I was just saying? Well, good morning, Mark. I'm so glad to see you here this morning. And I wanted to ask, was it you that asked me to send a link to the movie, The Celestine Prophecy? If it was, please let me know here so I can take care of that later on today. I have a list that's growing of people who want to uh, actually see the movie and see if they'd like to join us or not for the book club. So this is not an unthinking yeah, recognize the beauty, even the beauty of necessity and difficulty. I'm going to back that up and read that again. It is about being able to see things as they really are. And in that reality, to recognize all beauty, even the beauty of necessity and difficulty. This is not an unthinking, reflexive, immature, everything is for the best attitude, but an understanding of the beauty of what we learn from joy and sorrow, from ease and hardship, from pain and pleasure. Ta'am also wants to show us how silly it is to be so very solemn about life. He laughs at himself, he laughs at us. Sometimes he laughs so hard he gets cowslip wine up his nose, and then everyone else laughs at him. He doesn't mind that as long as we are laughing. Ta'am is also the young apprentice shaman, barely beginning on the path, but with a boundless interest in all things magical and mystical. He'll try anything and encourage you to do so as well. But you might find it advisable to show a little more sense than he does sometimes. He plays the panpipes, but not very well. He also chases the dryads and has much more success at this. He has a lust for life, wine, females, and song. He claims he claims he was born on the Blarney Stone, which I doubt, and consequently has a wonderful gift for words, which I don't doubt at all. He loves children, writers, and blithe, adventurous, uninhibited spirits. He is a storyteller with a great imagination and has the power to inspire others to action with his words. When Ta'am shows up in a reading, his presence suggests that youthful spirits and energy abound. This is the time to do exciting things and tackle projects you've been wanting to do, but for which you perhaps felt you didn't have the time or energy. It may be the time to write about them. That's interesting too, because Lisa told me she's got an entire book that's been downloaded now, specifically about this experience. So that's really interesting too. But you probably need to do them first. Ta'am often shows up in readings for people who have a talent and inclination for writing, poetry, adventure, for people who have a talent and inclination. Oh no, I read that already. I have a vertical imbalance in my eyes, and sometimes I don't remember to use a card to read along with. Um, Poetry. Okay, so he has a talent that for people who have a talent and inclination for writing, poetry, adventure, fantasy, or anything else. Possibly the only thing he ever gets serious about is his writing, and he will spend all the time he needs searching for just the right word, speaking and writing with conviction. And you know what? I was just told, I remember too, Journey Into It is writing a book right now, and that is so cool. that both of these of my team members are embarking on that. So that is really cool, and I can't tell you how interesting it is to me that this card come out right now. Wow. Speaking and writing with conviction and sincerity and the ability to persuade others are indicated by Ta'om's presence, along with an outpouring of ideas. You may also find yourself thinking about romance and deciding that you want more of it in your life. This doesn't necessarily mean looking for someone new. It might well involve putting some romantic fizz into a relationship that has become overly routine. Well, and for me, love, harmony, balance, which is what the next two cards are about, is very much connected to that kind of energy. Okay, so now we go to the Alchemy Elementals by Shaman Direct. Wow. Sky, lightning, star. Wow, there's a lot of rippling out energy in that card. And I just got through saying before I pulled that card that what both of my team members are moving through is having these ripple effects on these all manner of beings, not just the ones that they are um, other beings that are involved with what they're moving through, but I have a feeling that it will ripple out past those beings, that it is actually happening, that are in their fields right now. Okay, so this was Sky, Lightning, Star, card number 60, I mean, page number 67, which that one is that's a six as well, I believe. Six and seven is 15, right? No, it's 14. No, it's 13. So it's a four numerologically. Ugh, sometimes my math, I used to say I'm brain dead without a calculator. I never was good at math. Okay, so you've been shining bright like the amazing lit leader of legacy that you are. Your gifts and your essence and your expression are having a powerful impact on those around you. The path you walk may not be easy, my love, but it is a path of honor and integrity. The purity of your heart and the impeccability of your spirit radiate forth as a shining example for your community. Your tribe wants to honor you for all the inspiration and beauty you radiate and reflect. The spirits want to bless you with the opportunities and doorways to abundance. Let yourself receive these gifts. Avail yourself of rewards and surprises that reflect your greatness. Wow. I got to tell you, I resonate with that a lot because and in times past I might have said, "Oh, you guys are on the path." I also recognize myself in that card because I do have high integrity. I will tell on myself, believe you me, I will tell on myself because I want to see all of me. I do. I want to see all of me. I can't do anything about a shadow if I'm not willing to see it, right? So that's one of the things I absolutely adore about my housemate, Lisa Flamino Rush. She doesn't have any issues at all, saying to me, "Hey, what are you doing over there?" I would rather, I think about it like this. She gives me another perspective, actually, to feel into for myself. And because I don't get all defensive and I consider everything that is ever said to me, because, when you're willing to do that for some people will turn around and beat you the hell up for it. Trust me, ask me how I know that little bit of information. Of course, I wasn't in the right spot, and I really had this I know better than you attitude, and what I'm telling you is the truth, and you're all wet kind of attitude. Well, you can't do things like that because, of course, that makes people want to run away from you. Which I've had a lot of in my life. Okay, so card number 6, one. The title of this is One. And I always feel like this is a card, another one of those cards that could actually be seen this way as well, right? Because that describes how I feel in internally, that as I call in the larger portion of myself, which over the past 6 and 7 years, really 7 or 8 years, my mantra has been more of me into me. And that's the depiction that I feel is going on here. The larger portion of ourselves is so huge, it has to squeeze itself down into this teeny tiny little beam to get in at first. And you donated a lot of your perspective to me. Oh, thank you for that, Mark. I really enjoy talking with viewers when they're willing to come into Zoom and have a chat. It's one of my favorite things to do. So apologies, I'm having some more drainage this morning since I get out of the shower. Okay, so I have abolished duality from myself. I have seen the two worlds as one. One I seek, one I know, one I see, and one I call. Rumi. That's a quote by Rumi. You look for me, and what do you see? You. Am I playing games with you? Holding up a mirror for you to behold God? Yes. These are games of love and truth. Look for me and find yourself. For I am you and you are me, and together we are one, playing hide and seek in love's great playground. Like molten gold poured from the furnace of divine love into a one of a kind mold, you are created uniquely and of divine essence. You are both the lover and the beloved. There is no aspect of your life separate from your spiritual journey. I really do feel like that's true. I also feel that I don't think we make mistakes. We might label it as a mistake in the moment based on how we're feeling. Mostly it's our wounded inner child that might feel that um, we're being so put upon and all of that kind of thing. But I really now, with some time and distance, I don't feel like we make mistakes. I think we move towards things on purpose, actually, and we just don't even know it. There is no aspect of your life separate from your spiritual journey, and there is no aspect of you that is not of divine origin. So then, why the frowning, the fear, or the questioning? Let me share a sublime secret with you. Let me whisper it into your heart now. There is nothing to fear. All is unfolding according to the divine genius, and there is a sweet shift in store for you. No matter how dire the circumstances may appear to be, or despairing you may feel, there is an avenue through which fulfillment and resolution will be granted. This will happen. That is because the divine seeks wholeness of the one. That means anything and every part of existence, and that includes you and all aspects of your being and life, is claimed by the divine. Your return to the divine is demanded. Every part of you, every life circumstance. The divine keeps rigorous, flawless accounts. Therefore, nothing shall be left unaccounted for, not even that which seems to be outside divine attention and grace at this moment. You must remember that you are a living heart, the dweller at the center between heaven and earth, star and soil, light and dark. If you cannot summon the joy to rise up and meet the divine beloved, fear not. That cunning lover lies deep within the depths, waiting to gather you into sacred embrace as you descend into darkness. Either through flying or falling, you shall be caught and tangled up in divine embrace. So fear not. Cast aside worry and concern. Know that you are thoroughly itemized on the divine ledger, and not one moment of your struggle or suffering shall miss the hawk like gaze of the ever attentive and heavenly beloved. This oracle comes to you with particular guidance. There is a friction or a conflict within you or your life right now, a sense perhaps of being pulled in more than one direction and confusion because of this. You are questioning which path to take, this way or that. And I'm being shown one being in particular right this moment. I had a conversation, and it's not you, Mark, but I had a conversation with this being last night. Actually, it was quite a bit earlier than our conversation. What if you choose this path and it turns out that the other path would have been better? But how can you know now what choice, if any, is most needed in your life? So many questions. Your mind is scurrying. There is no other word for it. Backwards and forwards it goes, to and fro, trying to settle upon the truth. I love you too much to allow this to continue unchecked. Surrender it. Give it up. The truth you seek is this: you shall be. You shall manifest your destiny just as the acorn grows into the oak tree. You cannot be other than what you are, and as you accept this, life responds. It breathes and relaxes around you so that what you need can come to you more easily. It finds you, drawn to the need in you that is natural and inviting, and not a cause for anxiety or distress. The need leads to satiety. What is desired and what fulfills that desire is one. They are lovers that come to each other naturally, even through darkness and confusion, drawn to each other, following the natural course of the universe to become one. So do not fret and fear, my beloved. Do not hold back from that which feels incomplete out of anxiety or distress. It is just the lover that will soon be joined by the beloved. You are recognizing the moment before this occurs, so fret not, and instead let that inner lover loose. Allow her to shake out her hair, put on her most sensuous perfume, and laugh as she dances barefoot in the fields of lush grass and fragrant flowers. Let her tempt her beloved to come close because she can be seen, she can be heard. Her movement sends her scent through the air. She entices the yearning beloved to her, and soon enough they meet, and it becomes possible for yet again two to become one. And then there will be wild peace and ecstatic contentment within you. If there is any part of you struggling to surrender the conflict between old and new, between what has been and what needs to be, between passion and duty, creativity and rationality, between this role or identity, then know this: even the conflict serves. And that's what I mean when I say about I may have labeled something as a mistake or something I wish I hadn't done or whatever, right? No, even the conflict serves. I do realize that now with all of me. Don't choose either one and believe it is the answer. Sometimes the sacrifice is not one or the other, but the idea that it can only be one or the other. At every level, a level of divine resolution, there is beyond the apparent polarity and conflict a third way. And that's what I feel like we are all moving towards as each being gets into their selves and really starts that inward journey. I feel like we're moving from a consciousness of duality into what I would call a triality, right? And I really do feel like that's what's meant by the Trinity. For me, that's how I equate it. There will be, but beyond the apparent polarity and conflict is rising a third way, the rising up to where there is only one perfection taking place constantly. Open your heart. You'll find the bridge to understanding and trusting in that perfection there, where it has always been and will always be. Don't worry, all is happening exactly as it should. This oracle brings you particular guidance. There is a resolution and a perfect coming together of elements in your life that might have seemed disparate or in conflict. Something you have been trying to integrate is so very nearly ready to click into place. And then it talks about performing the sacred honoring ritual here, and stay with your process. And if somebody feels that they are drawn to that, I'm happy to send that to you. I don't actually read those. I prefer myself to make my own rituals. That way I'm aware of all the languaging that I mean when I put a ritual together. Now, that's why I say I'm happy to send it to you. And I highly recommend that if you are drawn to that, take information from it, add it to your own, but make it your own. Don't just, willy-nilly say somebody else's rituals. For me, that's a real big no-go. The coherence, the integration, the balance, and coming together you seek is on your horizon, approaching you swiftly now. Wow. Well, that's it for this one, guys. I hope this was helpful for you. It certainly has been for me. Got a really busy day ahead, so I'm not going to um, mince around here. I got to get going. But I adore you all so very much, and I'm so appreciative of everyone who shows up and helps me get into me, because that's what this is about. I've never made any secret of that. That is also why I don't charge anything for anything that I do. It's all done in love and openness and integrity. And, I'm not trying to make a living at anything. I'm not trying to sell anybody anything. This is all about me getting to know me. Yes, it's a public forum, but honestly, right now, I'm talking to me. This is my mirror. I'm sitting in front of my 12-year-old mirror talking to me. So thank you for being here and being my sacred witness. Until we meet again, I hope that you will move towards that which brings you the highest joy in each moment that presents itself. And if you are looking at something that doesn't bring you joy at all, give yourself a few moments. Step out of the perspective that you are looking through. Try looking at it from a different angle. My grandmother told me that there is always more than one way to skin a cat. And that's what I feel like she meant. There's always more than one way to see, sense, and feel something. Until we meet again, be well, my friends.